Ms. Evans walked into her son's room and stopped when she saw that he was fast asleep, his nose buried in the pillow. The woman couldn't help but smile. He slept just like that when he was a child. The pillow was bunched up into a ball, almost all the covers were on the floor, and he was curled up as if trying to protect himself from something. When Adam was little, she had tried to flip him over 1,000 times, afraid that he would suffocate. But the boy wouldn't sleep in any other position. Ms. Evans was always amazed. How could he get enough sleep after a night spent in such a cramped position? But Adam always woke up fresh and alert, ready to face the new day. That was how it was in his childhood. But now he was 28 years old. Sometimes he still behaved like a child. He didn't want any responsibility and preferred a carefree, unburdened life. Ms. Evans frowned. She remembered why she had come to her son and, resolutely approaching the bed, touched his shoulder. "Adam, wake up. I need to talk to you." He mumbled something incomprehensible in response, apparently not yet willing to part with the interesting dream. "Adam. Adam." She called more insistently. "Come on, wake up already." "Yeah, Mom, what's up?" The guy reluctantly lifted his head from the pillow. "Get up and get yourself together. I need to talk to you urgently." Ms. Evans went to the kitchen, poured herself some tea, made coffee for her son, and only then did he appear in the doorway, as if sensing its aroma. "What do we have for breakfast today?" Adam asked, kissing his mother on the cheek. "A serious conversation," she replied, deciding not to show weakness towards her only beloved son. "It doesn't sound very appetizing," he chuckled. "Well, let's try it. Maybe I'll like it." "I'm not sure," parried Ms. Evans, immediately turning to the topic that concerned her. "Adam, Margaret called me. She said you broke up. Can you tell me why?" "Because she's a spoiled girl who wants everyone around her to admire only her," calmly replied Adam. "She makes herself the center of the universe and doesn't give a damn about the feelings and desires of other people. Do you think that's normal? She's a beautiful girl from a wealthy, successful family. She can afford any behavior. She deserves it," declared Ms. Evans. "Interesting. Why?" Adam looked at his mother with an indifferent gaze. "Because she was born into a rich family? That's not an achievement, it's a coincidence. Or do you think differently?" "Adam, you're wrong. Margaret is very smart. She received a good education, studied without the help of her parents' connections, and that's something to be proud of," said Ms. Evans. "Why does she need that degree if she's not going to work anyway?" laughed Adam. "Just to show it off at friendly parties? Girls like her shouldn't have to work," exclaimed Ms. Evans. "Then what difference does it make if she has a degree or not?" Adam persisted. "Son," Ms. Evans pleaded, looking at her son. "But you liked her. What happened? Why did you change your attitude towards her? Is that fair? I was so happy when you were together. Her father could have helped you build your career, achieve unprecedented heights in this life." "Mom," Adam put his hand on his mother's hand, "you underestimate me. I'm not exactly worthless. Of course, I'm not reaching for the stars, but the business I inherited from my father not only didn't lose, but even multiplied. Now we have 36 employees on staff, not 15, and that says something. Of course, if Dad were alive, we would have expanded twice as fast. He had connections and experience, and I had to work from scratch. But I think I'm doing pretty well." "I have no doubts about your professional qualities, son," sighed Ms. Evans. "It's something else that worries me. You're not a boy anymore, but you can't seem to build normal relationships with girls. I was so happy when Margaret appeared in your life. She's so beautiful, so smart. And she loved you, but you hurt her so much. What did I do? Adam couldn't help but ask. Don't you dare raise your voice at me, Ms. Evans yelled, slamming her hand on the table. She called me and told me everything. You were cheating on her left and right. And the poor girl couldn't take it anymore. She left you. Oh, Mom, enough. Adam got up from the table and headed to the door. Come back here. I'm not done talking to you. Ms. Evans's voice took on the commanding tone that always worked when her son was little. I'm done, Adam replied, not even turning around, and headed to his room. And 5 minutes later, the front door slammed shut and Ms. Evans realized that her son had left. Well, go then, she shouted after him. Go wherever you want. The whole day Ms. Evans was not able to work. She wound herself up to the limit and didn't know how or where to vent her negative emotions. So she decided to take a walk around the city, maybe visit some small shop. Ms. Evans quickly got ready and left the house. She spent almost 2 hours on the waterfront, walking, admiring the silvery water in the sunlight, and enjoying light snacks in a small cafe. Her mood really improved, and she thought she would definitely make peace between Adam and Margaret. After all, they are such a beautiful couple. Ms. Evans took out her phone and dialed Margaret's number. She decided to invite her to visit tomorrow. And after dinner, arrange everything so that Margaret and Adam would be alone, and then they would definitely make peace. Ms. Evans smiled. Yes, that's what she would do. But when she heard Margaret's voice on the phone, she realized that all her plans had fallen apart. Yes, Ms. Evans, I'm listening, Margaret said with a nervous, faltering voice. Margaret, my dear girl, come to dinner with us tomorrow. We will be very happy to see you. Really? And Adam too? Margaret laughed unpleasantly. After what he did? What did he do? Ms. Evans felt a chill inside. You told me you broke up, but I don't know the details. I'll tell you the details now, Margaret replied. I caught your son with someone else. You understand? He lied to me, saying he had an important meeting, but he actually wanted to spend time with some cheap girl. I saw them together with my own eyes. Ms. Evans, you can't imagine it, he traded me for some homeless woman. If you only saw what she was wearing. It was a real nightmare. And he was kissing her right in front of me. Margaret, Ms. Evans gasped. This just can't be. It can, Margaret interrupted. And you know what he did after I approached them? He hit me. Ms. Evans helplessly lowered her hand and stopped listening to what Margaret was saying. When she realized what was happening, she brought the phone back to her ear, but all she could hear were short, nervous beeps. Out of anger, Ms. Evans went home, determined to make a real scandal for her son as soon as he returned. She was so upset that she almost saw nothing, and as she turned the corner, she bumped into a young, unkempt-looking woman. Excuse me, the woman began to apologize. You should watch where you're going, Ms. Evans exclaimed. I'm not going anywhere, the stranger shook her head. I have nowhere to go, my home is the street. Ms. Evans, who had already taken a few steps to the side, returned to her. What, are you telling the truth? She looked with interest at the young woman standing in front of her. How old are you? And what's your name? Miranda. I'm turning 20 soon. And how did you end up on the street, dear? Like most of us, I grew up in an orphanage. I don't remember my parents. We had a not-so-good shelter and many of us went downhill. And I always wanted to live normally, like everyone else. After leaving the shelter, I worked at the market. I helped the owner of several trading points to keep them in order. I also slept there. And, it seemed, everything was fine, but one evening he came to me drunk and started to harass me. I barely escaped and ran away, and now I've been living on the street for a week. I help the janitors sweep. They give me a little money for it, enough for bread and milk. And that's how I live. Ms. Evans listened carefully to the girl and suddenly smiled at her. You know what, Miranda, let's go to my place. You'll live with me. Maybe I can help you with something. Miranda shrugged. I don't know. Why do you need this? I just want to help you. Miranda thought for a moment and nodded. Thank you very much. I will be very happy. Nobody has ever treated me with such kindness as you. Ms. Evans smiled again. She had already come up with a plan to teach her son a lesson. Adam came home and was surprised to see an unfamiliar girl sitting at the table in his place and eating with appetite what his mother had put in front of her. Oh, Mom, we have guests? And I didn't even know. Well, not exactly guests. Meet Miranda. This is my son, Adam. And this is Miranda. I found her on the street, and now she will live with us. Meaning? Adam's eyebrows crawled up. What are you making up? What's surprising you? Miranda is a good girl, and I hope she becomes a good wife to you. Me? Miranda was surprised and tried to stand up, but Ms. Evans put her hand on her shoulder. Sit here, and we'll talk with our son in another room. Miranda sat back down, and Adam, turning and looking at her once again, followed his mother out. Mom, what are you making up? He asked, unable to contain his irritation. What's wrong with that? You like homeless people, don't you? So I brought you a wife. You're not worthy of anyone else. Mom, I don't understand. Adam shook his head. And I'll explain everything to you, Ms. Evans said sternly. But first, tell me how you dared to raise your hand to Margaret. The poor girl is so upset. Oh, that's what it's all about? Adam chuckled. Well, then listen. Margaret loves not me, but herself. Yes, Mom, in her universe, there is only her and no one else. Clubs, clothes, leisure, entertainment, that's all she's interested in. And don't talk to me about her anymore. I'm tired of her and don't want to hear anything else about her. Oh, and one more thing, I didn't hit her. I never raised my hand to any girl. But she. Mom, that night I refused to go to the club with her. It's not my thing. I don't belong there. I don't acknowledge that crowd and I don't accept it. But she loves it. I told Margaret I didn't want to go there, and she went by herself. And you were meeting someone else at that time, Ms. Evans exclaimed. Yes, I love another girl. She's kind, sweet, and simple. She works as a nurse in a hospital. I was seeing her off at that moment when Margaret saw us. She was going home by taxi and noticed us. Mom, Margaret caused a scene, attacked Barbara with her fists, and I tried to defend her and only pushed Margaret away lightly. But believe me, I couldn't hit her, I just couldn't. Okay, I believe you, Ms. Evans unexpectedly softened. But you should make peace with Margaret, she would make a great match for you. Or maybe I should marry that girl, Miranda, or whatever her name is. Adam smirked. Oh, Miranda, Ms. Evans exclaimed. I completely forgot about her. Well, let her stay with us for a couple of days, then we'll give her some money and help her find a job. We can't just throw her out onto the street now. The poor girl has been through enough already." "As you wish, Mom," Adam nodded. "My apartment renovation will be finished soon, and I'll move back there. You can accommodate whoever you want here." A week passed. Adam rarely came home, and Ms. Evans hardly saw him. But Miranda settled in quite well and turned out to be a very sociable and curious girl. She even got along with Ms. Evans, and when she realized that Adam had no intention of returning to Margaret, she began to think, why not really marry him to Miranda? One day, Adam came home very upset. "What happened, son? You look upset," Ms. Evans worried. "We had a fight with Barbara. She didn't explain anything to me. She just said we need to break up and that's it." Adam shook his head. "And that's it?" Ms. Evans asked. "No," Adam replied. "She also said she loves someone else." "Oh, these girls are so fickle," smiled Ms. Evans. "One minute they love one guy, and the next they love someone else. But don't worry, there will always be a new option for you." "Are you hinting at Margaret again?" Adam looked at his mother. "No, Margaret left the city. She'll be living in the capital now." "Great. She's been wanting that for a while." "So that means," Adam laughed bitterly, "I'm left with only one fiancée, Miranda? You said I don't deserve anyone except for homeless people. So how about it, Mom? Let me marry Miranda for real. So what if I hardly know her? She's just like everyone else, hands, feet, head. She'll bear me a bunch of children, and you'll finally be happy." "And what about you?" asked Ms. Evans. "Who cares, Mom?" "Don't talk like that, son," pleaded Ms. Evans. "And about Miranda, I was just joking. We can't decide for you." "And I agree," declared Miranda, emerging from the kitchen. "I like your son, and if we get married, I'll be happy." Adam smiled, and a month later, Miranda became his wife. At first, Ms. Evans was very happy that her son had finally settled down. He tried to come home earlier, brought flowers for his wife and mother, arranged romantic dates for Miranda, and eagerly awaited the happy news that he would soon become a father. However, that moment never came. A year passed, and then another. Finally, Ms. Evans realized the mistake she had made. Miranda was not the modest and grateful girl she had hoped for. She quickly assumed the role of the mistress, refused to listen to anyone, loved to rest and sleep for as long as possible, and didn't know how to do anything at all. "Miranda, maybe you should try to learn how to cook," Ms. Evans asked her when she once again came over to her son's home. "Besides sandwiches and store-bought dumplings, you never have anything else. What do you even eat? Why do you care?" Miranda rudely interrupted her. "I'm not obligated to stand at the stove, pleasing your son. And besides, he loves pizza and sushi, we often order them. So don't worry, we're not starving." "Why are you being so rude to me, Miranda?" Ms. Evans snapped. "If you've forgotten, let me remind you of where I found you, and my son helped you become a respectable person." "Oh, really?" Miranda laughed. "Well then, let me bow down to you for that, and for the rest of my life, I'll be praising you and your son to the heavens." "That would be nice," Ms. Evans responded. "It's a shame I didn't see right away that you have no conscience. I wonder what you would have become if you continued living on the streets." "Why talk about it now?" Miranda shrugged. "You yourself wanted me to become your son's wife. What are you unhappy about now?" Ms. Evans was unhappy with everything. She was upset seeing her son unhappy, and most of all, she was worried that he never complained about anything. And then one day, Ms. Evans's body failed her. Feeling a strong dizziness, she fell unconscious right on the street. Passers-by quickly called for an ambulance for her. The doctors arrived quickly and took Ms. Evans to the hospital, where she was met by a pretty nurse with kind eyes. She did everything she could to ease the suffering of the unfortunate woman, and soon Ms. Evans was transferred to a ward. "Please call my son," she asked the nurse. "Tell him I'm with you, otherwise he'll worry." The nurse dialed Adam's number, but when she heard his voice on the phone, she dropped it. "What's wrong?" Ms. Evans asked. "Are you Adam's mother?" "Yes." "How do you know my son?" "Oh, Ms. Evans," the nurse sighed. "A few years ago, I loved him more than life itself. We even wanted to get married, but then I found out he had a fiancée who lived with you in his house. So, I told Adam that we had to break up. It was very hard for me to talk about it, but I didn't want to interfere with your family. Besides, his fiancée was expecting a child." "Wait," said Ms. Evans. "You're Barbara? Adam told me about you. He loved you very much. And he didn't have a fiancée or children either." "Oh, Barbara. Forgive me. I didn't let him be with you. I came up with some stupid idea, made him marry a girl he didn't love. Her name is Miranda." "I know," Barbara replied calmly. "The first time I saw her was when she came to my house for a serious talk. That's when she said she was Adam's fiancée and lived with you. And then I saw her twice here. She came to have an abortion." "What?" A furious voice came from the door. Barbara turned around and saw Adam, who stepped towards her and grabbed her shoulders. "What are you saying? Miranda was getting rid of my children? Barbara, why do you always bring me pain? I loved you, but you didn't want to be with me. And I decided to get married to forget you. And when I was almost successful, you show up again and say terrible things about my wife." "I'm telling you the truth, Adam," said Barbara. "And I'm only doing it because I still love you." Miranda, upon learning of what had happened, flew into a rage. She accused everyone of preventing her from building a happy life, the kind she had long dreamed of. Once she had tried to do this and had nearly destroyed Mr. Bell's long-standing marriage to his wife, the owner of the market stalls. Miranda gave persistent signs of attention to Mr. Bell, although she did not like him at all. But she had dreamed of taking his wife's place and had almost succeeded, but Mr. Bell resisted temptation and sent Miranda away. That's when she met Ms. Evans, who took pity on her and took her in. Miranda quickly realized that fate was sending her another chance and decided to take advantage of it at all costs. She quickly found out where Barbara lived and went to her, telling her and Adam countless lies about herself. However, she was sure that she would not miss her chance and finally become the mistress of her life. Ms. Evans, unaware of the girl's intentions, helped her and allowed her son to marry Miranda. She really wanted Adam to have a real family and children, which she had been waiting for so long. She just didn't know that her daughter-in-law didn't even want to think about children. And if there was a mistake, she got rid of the baby without a second thought. 3 months passed. Adam divorced Miranda, unwilling to listen to her justifications, and soon filed for marriage with Barbara at the registry office. Ms. Evans no longer interfered in her son's life. Now she knew for sure that everyone had to choose their own destiny, and a year later she was taking care of a little grandson, a copy of her son. And she thanked the heavens for sending her happiness named Barbara.